morning. I'm Natalie Hildt Treat, and I'm delighted to share what Young Church means to me and to our family as a central reason for our involvement in and support of FRS. To do so, I want to share a little of my own faith journey, which began when I was growing up in the Amesbury Friends meeting. Though the values of the Friends resonated with me and as a young person, and I cherished the special time with my mother on Sunday mornings, I always longed for more. Our congregation, once home to the abolitionist and poet John Greenleaf Whittier, was very small. There was no sermon. There was generally no music. Just silent meditation punctuated by someone speaking if the Spirit moved them. Simple and beautiful. There really wasn't much in terms of religious education other than listening to the still small voice and sitting quietly for the first few minutes of meeting for worship on horsehair cushions before we broke free to play in the town park or maybe read a book together downstairs. For many years, until the building was winterized, in the winter we met in borrowed space, sometimes just a handful of us in a circle on folding chairs. There were very few children most of the time. In fact, during my teenage years, I helped to provide the childcare and first day school, as we called it. But sometimes there were no children. The Quakers are very philosophically and spiritually similar to Unitarian Universalists, and that is why I felt so at home joining FRS. Plus, I love the music and the larger community and programming that FRS offers, including Young Church. When my husband Tom and I got married, we agreed that being part of a faith community would be an important anchor for our family. Tom grew up in a New England Congregational church and has always been drawn to an array of religious, philosophical, and spiritual teachings. When our daughter Julia was very young, we started attending FRS regularly. I remember the fall before COVID happened, our new director of religious education, Mara Flynn, spoke with me about her plans for Young Church. She was so excited that she had completed a training in Montessori-based religious education. It sounded wonderful. Then, of course, as we know, the world shut down, with church and Young Church relegated to Zoom. While we participated a few times, Julia was 5 then, it was really challenging to keep her engaged on the screen. But finally, I think it was late summer of 2021, we began having Young Church outdoors. Hooray! It was so good to be together again. This past year, with its increased sense of normalcy and opportunity for social connection, has really been a blessing for Julia and for all the young people in our congregation, and for really all of us, I know. It has been a joy watching them learn and develop friendships across ages, as well as with dear Mara and her helpers. We know that there will be lots of big topics to explore as our Julia grows. Having a place to safely discuss, contemplate, and form her own beliefs and sense of self will be so important. Whether dealing with issues of social justice, climate change, grief, love, I'm so glad to know that Julia has a supportive faith community beyond her own family. It has been especially wonderful in the last year with several children around her own age. And it's a little sad to see that some families haven't returned after COVID. I hope they still will. With all of the challenging and sometimes heartbreaking issues that we're faced with in this world, having a place that is both a sanctuary and a support to live our values is so important to our family and to our daughter's development. We are grateful for the opportunity to be part of Young Church and for so many loving adults, not the least of which is Reverend Rebecca, who rarely escapes a hug attack from Julia when she spots her. FRS nurtures us through all stages of life. It knits us together. It helps us develop the tools to be our best selves and share our unique gifts. I am so thankful that Julia has our church in her life, and I hope the community of families and children only continues to grow and be enriched as she grows up here at FRS. And I especially want to thank Mara Flynn for all that you do to develop thoughtful, engaging programming for the children. Thank you, Mara. And thank you to the board and to Reverend Rebecca for having the wisdom to hold on to dear Mara for as long as we can. I know that she is a really big part of what makes families and children want to be here at FRS. So, to continue with our garden theme, we reap what we sow. So let's keep investing in FRS, especially in programs for youth and adolescents for a bountiful future. Thank you.